When I start the Hangman project from the YByte Scratch Advanced Curriculum, which is available at www.ybyte.in, the program greets me with this message called Guess the Word. Now, this has been written using a text engine. We have covered this elsewhere. But sometimes when I do my project, what I get is something different, though the code looks exactly the same. So notice there are two problems over here. I notice that the words are not demarcated clearly. In fact, I'm getting 3 S's in place of 2. I'm getting 2 E's in place of 1. So this whole thing doesn't look very neat. The second problem is that I ask it to print only one exclamation. Notice here, guess the word with a single exclamation. But in fact, I ended up with 2 exclamations. So let's see what's going on. Why are we getting these problems? First thing first, remember how is this being printed? This is basically a text engine. What we are doing is to use this myblock and we are running this without screen refresh. The way we are doing this is that we are going through this, whatever word or sentence we pass it to this myblock as an argument text, we go through it letter by letter, which means we look at every letter and we switch the costume to that particular letter, make a stamp and then go to the next letter. Now the problem here comes because, in our letters, we have lots and lots of costumes. In fact, for every letter, there's a costume. So for example, big A is called A, big C is called big C, and so on and so forth. Like if I take, for example, small h, the costume name is small h. The specific costume that is causing a problem here is the one that is of a space. Now remember, between words, we have these spaces. Hence, we have this one costume, which is, which looks empty. It is empty, in fact. The problem comes because our space bar still has to be named a single space. Now notice I'm going to create a single space, and to be sure I can just hold the shift key down and notice now that there is a space here. Now the moment I do this and I run this code, notice the first problem disappears, which is that now my words appear correctly. It says guess the word. I still have the second exclamation. We'll talk about this later. But how did this problem disappear? Well, the answer is simple. Remember, we are going letter by letter. The moment we encounter a space, previously it tried to switch costume to a space, but since there wasn't any, it didn't know where to go and it just repeated the previous costume. Now that we have a space over there, it knows where to switch my costume to, and hence the space becomes the costume, and this looks nice. Now coming to the second problem, notice we are getting an extra exclamation. Now again, that is to do with the fact that we are stamping and our original sprite is still visible. Now the way to fix this is very simple. I'm just going to hide my sprite. I can do it from here. The moment I do this, in fact, notice my, guess the word comes with a single exclamation. So what was going on really is that as I'm running this program, if my sprite is shown, what I was seeing here is nothing but the original sprite, and it was taking the last costume that I had taken, and hence it looked like a repeated, exclamation over here. Simple, just hide this, sprite and you'll be fine. In fact, this is exactly the same reason why in the letter space sprite, notice we are using a hide at the end of, stamping these, because if not, my original sprite also shows up and it looks like I'm giving, say, 6, letter spaces, but I need only 5. I hope both these problems are clear to you. Do look at the website for more details, and, we'll be happy to talk to you in case you have any more questions. Take care. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.